What's up, Trailblazer? Today's video, I'm gonna teach you guys how to resin your canvas. And it's pretty easy, but before we get into the video, today's video is sponsored by Arts Resin. Guys, this is the resin I use on all my paintings. It's clear. You could use it on jewelries. You could use it on whatever you want to use it on even a table. I use this on the table. It came out perfect. So you guys could check out the link in the description. All right, but before we get into that, let's cue some intro, please. All right, guys, so we're back. So before we even get into resin anything or start mixing our resin, I want to show you guys the simple tools that I use and what you should use as well. All right, let's put this Arts Resin aside. So guys, first thing first, of course, you need your Arts Resin. You need your resin. This one is 50-50, so it's 50 hardener and 50 resin. So you mix half and half, all right? And this is my 16-ounce bottles. And you guys would need a couple cups. So I have, don't mind the party cups, guys. This is way before COVID. As you guys can see, I have still a little bit of resin on them. But this is what I will need to prop my canvas on. All right, so when you're resining your canvas, everything has to be flat. Your canvas have to be flat. And I want it to be elevated so it could get the edges as well. All right, so you need your cups. You need your another cup to put your resin in. So 4 cups for it to be propped on, a cup or 2 to put your resin in. Scale, I got this from a Canadian Tire, so this is a regular cooking scale. This is, I know it's half and half, guys, but this right here helps me so much because you don't want to be off too much. What happens, your resin will not dry, or it might take way too long to dry. All right, so I always have a scale and I do half and half with it. All right, we need or slider, spreader, whatever you guys want to call it, but there's so many different ones. I like using this one. I got this from Deseri, and it's an art store in Toronto here and Canada. I'm not sure if it's in the US as yet, but Deseri is a great art store. I think you'll get it from any art store as well, or even cooking supplies. I bet you could find this in the kitchen aisle, but I like a bigger one because it's better to handle. All right, a heater. So you guys can see this. I have this portable heat gun, and I like this better than using the torch. I have the torch, but I don't use it as much no more because it only lasts for so long. Every time I have to turn it on, it only will last me for like one painting, and I have to go and buy next gas, and it smells as well. So I don't want to do that. This is safer. Guys, get you guys a heat gun. Invest yourself into it. I think it's like $25, $30. All depends on what brand you pick, but you just need a regular heat gun, guys. This will help you get rid of the bubble as well. Please don't waste too much money on getting all those gas. All right. One of the most important thing, guys. One of the most important thing is your gloves. You guys need your gloves, guys. This is sticky. Resin is sticky. When it gets on you, oh man, it's hell. All right, so I always want to have my gloves. If you guys want to wear a face mask, would be great. So if you guys are doing this in a ventilated area, turn the fan on. That would also help, but don't be doing it in a closed room. All right, so I'm in a room where I have a fan, so everything would just air out anyways, and my own doesn't smell that much. All right, and last but not least, guys, you will need your painting that you're gonna do. So with this painting, I actually did this for one of my kids' art class, and it was from the pouring technique, and we used a string and we pull it, and this is what I created with a couple of strings. And I'm like, what should I resin in this video? So I'm like, you know what, let's do this painting because I love it. I love it. This is my first time doing this, and I like how it came out. All right, and at the back, you guys could see I put a foam board at the back. So once we put it flat, once the resin's on and settled, it's settled evenly. All right, so guys, if your canvas is not tight or stiff enough, put piece of board. It will help. All right, so let's get into this. Let's get into the setup of how I set up my canvas and how I mix my resin. So let's go. All we need the cups, our gloves on. We can move our Arts Resin to the side, put that to the side for now. And you guys can see I've placed all 4 of my cups in basically the shape of whatever my canvas is. And what you want to do, you want to get your canvas, rest it on top. All right, so remember, guys, I put a piece of foam board behind. So my canvas could be more stiff. All right, so you want to place all 4 cups. I'll make sure it's at the edge. All right, but we don't want it to be overlapping like this, because I want to move around all 4 corners smoothly. So I put it in just a little bit, so at least I could pass my fingers around. So especially when I'm doing the resin at the edges, I do not come in contact with the cups and move it or shift. I don't want it to fall or anything. All right guys, so what we need for this step, mixing our resin, we will need our Arts Resin, our scale, a separate cup, and also our spreader or slider, whatever you guys want to call this. Okay, so I'm gonna put this to the side because we need to use this to stir. So like I said, guys, we need to use the resin and the hardener 50-50. So this is the A, this is the B. The B is the hardener, okay? On most resin, this usually is. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pick one first. So I always like putting my cup on before I turn the scale on, because I want the cup to be 0. So I turn it on. Let's turn this bad boy on. So guys, when you use this a lot, the resin gets stuck in between here. So try to clean it. Don't try to do what I do. Try to clean it. So it's at 0. I'm gonna do mine in grams, but you could use whatever you guys want to use, pounds. It really does not matter. So I'm gonna open my resin, my hardener first. Doesn't really matter which one you open first. And this size is 16 by 20. So I think I'm gonna go like, I'm thinking about 110 maybe might do for the hardener. Well, guys, we're going 115 instead. All right, so we need to pour the another half. Then this is the resin. We need to pour that into this. So we need to do another half of 115, so which would total 230. All right, so we need to keep pouring the other half. There we go. Once you have your 230, put your cap on. All right, put your cap on. Make sure both of them is sealed. You don't need these, put it to the corner. All right, you can remove this, turn the scale off if you have to. Turn that off. Leave that, let it turn off. So you guys can see it's clear. This is a clear resin, guys. See how clear this is? Crystal clear. What we're gonna do, use our little scoop or slider, and we just wanna mix it. All right, so I like mixing them clockwise, counterclockwise, like going up and down. We really want it to mix in there, all right? All right, guys, so basically, as you guys can see, it should have this like milky look to it, all right? And you guys can see all those air bubbles. You see all those bubbles? We're gonna get rid of those, all right? So what I like to do, I like to let this sit for at least 5 minutes or so. I'll let it sit. All right, guys, so now we have our resin. It's basically somewhat clear. So I'm just gonna blow this out a little bit, some bubbles. So this is what I like to do. I always like using my blow gun, my heat gun, let's just call it, to just, I'm gonna stand up a little bit, guys, so you guys could have a better view of this. So what I like to do, sometimes I like just mixing it a little bit. As you guys could see, it's pretty clear. All right, so what I want to do, guys, is I like pouring on one side first. Put a bunch on one side first. And then I take the edge and I drag it. So it all depends how thick you guys want it. And I like going back and forth because you just want to cover some of those spots that you might miss. So what I like doing, going back and forth to make sure I've got everything. And guys, the light is your friend. So use the light because you need to see where you miss, where it doesn't have any resin. think I've got everywhere. I don't see any spot that's missed. So when you guys, I'm using the light for my reflection to see where I have missed or where's the low spot. So I think this is good. So what we do, use the heat gun. And with this, guys, we're just hovering over. All right, we don't want to stick too long. We just want to just pass. I'm sitting about like 4 inches away. And you could do it as, I just want to get rid of all the little bubbles. So as many times you need to get rid of the bubbles, you could do it for, okay? When it comes to the edges, the best thing to do, guys, I like using my hands. I just go right around the edges with the resin. So that's why I always keep a little bit in, at least the cup. So I could go around. You guys could see some spots that's dripping. Just even it out onto the edge of the canvas. So this is perfect when you have to hang it and it's shiny all around. So you can do that. There we go. The Tray Arts Resin, guys, it takes about maybe, I would say, to fully dry, I've left it for a good 10 hours for it to fully dry. I know within maybe 2 hours or so, the top might be a little soft, but I like leaving mine overnight, especially. I like leaving it overnight. Like now, I'm not gonna touch it until tomorrow. So that's the best thing to do, guys. Leave it out, all right? And again, Tray Arts Resin, it's on trayarts.ca. The link is in my description, and it's amazing resin. I resin a lot of my paintings, so I always make sure I use my brand. And guys, as you guys could see, I really don't need a mask with it. It doesn't smell the room that much. There's a little odor to it, but it's not as strong as other resin. And as you could see, it's pretty clear and it's flat. And that's when, once it's done, you hang everything, you hang your painting, and it looks amazing in the light. Trust me. So you guys could see some of my pieces that I put on the wall with my resin. It is amazing. It make the painting stand out a lot more. So comment in the box if you guys want me to show anything else. Guys, every Thursday I upload videos. So if there's something else you guys want me to show or discuss, please put it in the comment box. And if you guys like the video, please like and comment and subscribe and put that notification bell on, because I'll be doing a lot more of this and just show you guys how I do my stuff. So I can't wait for the next video. And to all my new subscribers, welcome. And guys, take care and stay safe.